All right, today we are going to dive into something pretty big. We're talking about Microsoft Fabric, which is Microsoft's really ambitious answer to a huge multi-billion-dollar problem that pretty much every company faces with its data. We're going to look at how it's trying to completely rewire how businesses use their information.
But before we get into all the tech, let me ask you a question. Does this sound familiar? You've got your sales data living in one system, your marketing analytics in a completely different one, and then your operational logs are buried somewhere else entirely. It is a universal headache, and it's that exact chaos we're going to try and unravel today. And this situation, it has a name. The industry calls it the modern data problem. And look, it's not just about having a ton of data. It's the insane complexity and all the fragmentation that comes with it. It makes getting one single clear picture of what's really going on almost impossible. Now, this chaos has very real consequences, right? You get these data silos where the marketing team has no clue what the sales team is doing. You run the exact same report in two different tools and you get two different answers. And behind the scenes, you're just constantly copying data, moving it around, creating this tangled mess of duplicates. This fragmented reality is the very thing Fabric was built to fix.
So, okay, if that's the problem, what's the big idea here? What's the solution? Well, Microsoft's answer is a total shift in philosophy. It's about moving away from this collection of separate, disconnected tools to one single unified data platform.
So what is Microsoft Fabric really? You can think of it as an all-in-one, end-to-end analytics platform. And what that means is it's designed to handle the entire journey your data takes, from the moment you collect it, to cleaning it up, to building AI models, and finally, to creating those critical business reports. And the key is, it's all under one single roof.
At its core, the promise is actually radically simple. One platform, one central place for all the data, and one unified experience for everyone in the company, whether you're a data scientist or a business analyst. It's such a simple idea, but the implications are just massive.
Now, that is a pretty bold promise. So how does Fabric actually pull it off? Let's take a look under the hood at some of the core innovations that actually make this whole unified approach possible.
It all starts with this thing called OneLake. And honestly, the analogy here is just perfect. Think of it as OneDrive, but for all of your company's data. It's one central, logical place to store literally everything. And it doesn't matter where that data came from, another cloud, your own servers, anywhere. And this right here really shows the difference. On the left, that's the old way, total data chaos, right? You're endlessly copying and moving data around. With Fabric, the whole idea is different. You keep one main copy of your data in OneLake, and then you use these smart features like shortcuts and mirroring to access it without making a bunch of new copies. It's all about pointing to the data, not duplicating it. And to make all this happen, Fabric comes with over 180 built-in connectors. This is how you pull in data from pretty much any source you can think of, whether it's in the cloud or sitting on a server down the hall, and bring your entire data world together without some monumental engineering project. But here's the really clever part. This single platform gives everyone a tailored experience, what they call a workload, for their specific role. So the data engineer sees tools for transforming data. The data scientist gets a workbench to build AI models. And the business analyst, they get a beautiful interface for creating reports. They are all working on the exact same data, just looking at it through a lens that's designed for their job. So we've seen the how, but what about the so what? I mean, how does this technology actually translate into real business value? How does it help companies make smarter decisions? Okay, let's take a super practical example, retail. It's an industry that is just drowning in data, right? You've got sales transactions, inventory that's constantly shifting, supply chains, online customer behavior. It's a lot. So the whole goal here is to connect all of those dots. For a retailer, this means they can finally combine their online sales data with what's happening in their physical stores seamlessly. This lets them optimize their stock in real time, personalize marketing with a full customer view, and spot trends way before the competition does. Now let's pivot to another really complex field, healthcare. And here, data isn't just about profit. It's literally about patient outcomes. And the applications here are incredibly powerful. By securely bringing together patient records, lab results, and hospital data, providers can start moving toward what's called value-based care. That means they can find patterns to improve treatments, build more efficient systems, and ultimately, focus on what actually delivers the best outcomes for patients. Okay, so having all your data in one place, that is a huge leap forward. But you know what? That only solves half the problem. There's one final piece to this whole puzzle. How do you get everyone in the organization, not just the data experts, to actually use it? This is the big question, right? You've built this amazing unified data foundation. So how do you make it so that the marketing manager or the head of operations can just ask a simple question of the data without needing to learn how to code?
Well, the answer is AI, specifically Copilot in Fabric. It's basically a conversational assistant for your data. You can just ask a question in plain English, something like, hey, what were our top selling products in the Northeast last quarter? And boom, Copilot generates a report or a summary right on the spot. This is what truly democratizing data access looks like.
And here's the final piece that just ties it all together. These insights, they don't stay locked up inside Fabric. They get delivered right into the Microsoft 365 tools that people are already using every single day, like Teams, Outlook, and PowerPoint. The answers literally come to you right where you're already working. So this all brings us to a final thought. For decades, we've been focused on just collecting data. But with unified AI-powered platforms like this, our data can finally start talking back to us in a really meaningful way. And that leaves us with a powerful question to think about. Thanks for tuning in.